Hi, this is JP. Today on the Slanted Lens, we're going to take a look at how to do a quick group portrait. We just finished up some individual portraits. We only have about 30 minutes to turn things around and to be able to photograph this entire group together. So let's take a look at exactly how we're going to do that. Let's get this going. So I love the Tamron 35-150 228. It's on the Sony mount. It's a beautiful lens. It allows me to get longer to make my background fall out of focus. And even in this group shot, I'm gonna try to stay between 100 and 135, which will allow the background to fall more out of focus. I'm gonna wanna be, though, more like at 5'6", maybe a little more. I may go to 6'3", just to give myself enough depth of field, depending on how much I stack the people. It's really always a kind of a balancing act between letting the background fall out of focus and allowing the entire group of people to be in focus. So for this situation, that Tamron 228 is a beautiful lens. It gives me a great range. If I have to go wider, and sometimes I've had to, I can go all the way as wide as 35 millimeters, so it gives me great range. So I'm looking for a background that has depth. So I'm on the sidewalk here. I'm looking way down that sidewalk. There's green all the way, which just gives me beautiful depth. It's gonna fall more and more out of focus the further we look down there. I'm gonna line my people up here in the foreground, so I'll see the depth of the background on one side, and then it'll come to the side here that is a little closer to me. My biggest challenge is I can't get rid of that street sign there. I'm gonna have to retouch that out. I'll cover it up mostly with the people we have, but this just gives me a little bit of depth and some interest. It's all green and kind of organic and helps my group look a little nicer. So when I'm lighting in this kind of situation, I really go for a butterfly. I want it above the camera, up high. It's gonna just open up my entire group. If I had a large group, like more like 15, 20, 30 people or more, I would put two lights up, right and left. But in this situation, I'm gonna be high. It allows me to get underneath this, and I'm gonna shoot right alongside my stand, so I get my stand in close and high, give me a little bit of shadow on the person, and then I'm gonna just shorten my shutters so that I really kill a lot of the ambient light, give myself a little bit of drawing on the faces, but that butterfly is key to making this work. In the background, I've got a rim light that's gonna allow me to put a little rim light on their heads, and that's gonna help kind of separate them from that background. Two lights, quick, and off we go. So I'm gonna come down a little low. I'm gonna sit on my stool that I usually stand on, because I want that green to come up in the frame and to be able to be behind. It makes it a beautiful background for our people. So if I get low, it brings that green up into the background. And it's a balance. Old guy like me doesn't want somebody looking low. So we may have to have a little bit of retouching to make it work, but we'll get down low and we can see in that greenery, and it just makes for a nice background. So when we're posing everyone here, I don't want to put them just in a line where they all go shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. So I push one back, one forward, one back, one forward, one back. So it kind of gives us an in and out movement in the image, which makes it look a little nicer. The challenge is you don't want the ones up front to look like they're really coming out of the image. You got to keep them back on a line, but it looks nice. It looks nicer than just in a straight line, shoulder to shoulder with each other.
In this SKB case, I have a beautiful Selmer Mark VI baritone saxophone. It's even got a low A key, and this SKB case fits it like a glove. And it's got wheels, which I really love. And that's what's in this SKB case.
So this setup is like what I call a quick turnaround lighting, because I just get the light up above the camera. It gives me a butterfly in everyone. Doesn't matter how big the group is, as long as it doesn't get really big. It really is a quick turnaround, easy light to set up, gives you a beautiful light on the face, and then a little rim light in the back. Looks really nice. We'll have to retouch out the sign back there, but otherwise looks very good. All right, I'm gonna shoot a few more before we finish up. So one thing I have learned over the years is I do love a tripod, being able to set my camera and have it in a place, but it's really hard with a group. As you're posing them and moving them a little bit, it's just a lot easier to hand hold the camera. That allows me to make slight adjustments right and left, up and down, and it's much quicker. With the tripod, it's really hard for me to make that happen fast enough. Even though I'm pretty quick with that tripod, it's just a lot faster handheld. So I've kind of gone to handheld holding the camera. Your shutter speed though is really determined by the ambient light. You can't shoot at 1,000th of a second or 500th of a second. I shot 125th of a second. Gotta tuck those elbows in and relax that camera and really hold it tight so you can get a nice steady shot. But hand holding is definitely the way to go. So this is the beauty of the FJ400, the FJ200 from Westcott, is that you can take them on location. It's battery, lithium-ion battery, portable, take it wherever you need it to be. Even if I could plug them in, I don't want to anymore. It's just too easy to move them exactly where I need them and be able to take them outside if I need to really quickly. So I love that platform for that reason. So there's a look at a quick way to set up a group portrait. Makes it easy to flip your lighting around. I found at times that I'll go in and I'll shoot a bunch of headshots, then all of a sudden out of nowhere they'll say, can you shoot the 3 of us together or the 5 of us together? And you've got to do a quick change up so you'll be able to get that group shot up quickly because everyone's waiting, they want to go. So I found this the easiest way to set that up, bringing that light overhead and just posing them, trying to get a longer lens so you can let the background fall out of focus a little bit. It makes a very nice quick way to set this thing up. I have had this happen to me many, many times. I've just found this is a fast way to make that happen so you get a great portrait. So I hope you learned something in this. I shot this at about 5.6, which was giving me enough depth of field because I was back far enough. It gave me enough depth of field to hold both lines. And I was going in the background, wanted to let that fall out of focus, and I had that rim light from behind, so it looked really good. So there you go, how to shoot a quick group portrait. Send that light in that butterfly position. So keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking.